wanting to go out on a high note and understanding her value to the team and playing her role at the highest level. And we've asked her to get double-digit rebounds for us in every game, and I think it's the intangibles and her willingness to do what we need her to do for us to win.
I know you mentioned when you saw Brittany Brewer, you kind of knew the potential she had. What did you see from Zuri when you first saw her when you got here?
Tremendous athletic individual. And then when she got in strength and conditioning with Coach Ralph, I mean, she just transformed, her body. I think she always had the work ethic. She needed guidance and direction. And I think once we got her in a routine and a system, it just really helped her grow and advance because she had the want to, and that's the hardest part.
I know obviously rebounding's tough, but I guess just for her to get those 21 points, what was that like? Because obviously she does some of the dirty work sometimes, doesn't get those points or maybe the recognition, but for her to get that type of game and in that situation, what was that for her?
Well, I think it was big for her confidence, and, a lot of the ways that she's going to be able to score is, offensive putbacks. We're posting her at the basket and things like that. And she can hit the mid-range jump shot, and she's, we allow her to shoot that as well. So I think when the ball's going in the basket for her, it just gives her more confidence. It's always nice to score a little bit when you're doing, as you mentioned, all the dirty work of going and getting those rebounds. It's great to be in the scoring column as well. But I think she can get to 10 points in a game for us by focusing on putbacks and free throws and things like that. I think that's going to happen naturally for her.
I guess for you, how important is Zuri and then just Brittany and kind of every post that you have? I know everyone kind of talks about the shooting the three-pointers, but sometimes they get those rebounds, kick it back out, and you get those three-pointers out of that as well.
Yeah, I think, Zuri in particular is such a great leader for us. She has such a strong voice on the team, and we rely on her for that. And then she's one of our best defenders. And, again, not something that always shows up in a stat sheet, but we give her a lot of the tougher assignments defensively, even within our matchup zone and what she's keying in on. So really, really big. With Brittany, we want her to get back into those double-double categories for us here in Big 12 play. And she will. We're confident in that. She wants to get there. We got to, obviously keep her out of foul trouble. She's got to stay out of foul trouble for us. But, we're right there in two of these games. You look at Oklahoma, Oklahoma State, and you're right there, 2 or 3 possessions here or there. And we're getting ready to go watch some film on that so we can grow from that. But, I think it's exciting for them that, they actually felt very let down because they're so close. And just to be able to finish that off in those games, and we get those 2 teams in particular back here at home, I think they're already looking forward to that. But, messaging to them is we are right there, and we're going to get some of these, stay the course, stay steady, and stay strong here. We're going to get some of those games down the road.
Coach, you talk about being right there. What areas on the court could you guys maybe improve in a little bit that helps you get those a couple more wins under your belt?
Well, in the most recent game, I think for us is movement. We were pretty stagnant, especially offensively. It's one of the things that I enjoy coaching, if you will, is the offensive side of things, and we've got to have some better movement. And then when we are open, we've got to be able to knock down some shots at the perimeter position. That's something that, again, at this level is pretty standard, and we're getting some of the good looks that we want, but we got to knock them down better. But I think we can improve our movement, especially without the ball, and not be so stagnant as we were at Oklahoma State. And also we got to generate some more in our transition. I think that we're pulling back a little bit too quickly in transition and giving up on some opportunities a little bit too soon.
How do you think CC has adapted to Big 12 play?
Well, I think so far outstanding. I mean, you're looking she continues to impress and continues to turn heads and produce. We have an electronic system where we keep track of their heart rate and monitor their workload and several other things during a game. And she's always off the charts with that. I mean, she's performing at a pro level in terms of her work ethic. And I think that's the biggest thing with her is that she keeps bringing it every single day, every single night, and keep wondering when a freshman might fall off a little bit, and fingers crossed she hasn't yet for us. And I think she has a good leader around her. On the road she rooms with our senior Zuri, and I think she has a very positive influence on her as well. And I think with Chrislyn, she's a competitor, and I think that separates her a little bit. She wants to win games. She wants to do whatever it takes to win games. Yes, she's learning. Yes, she's growing. Yes, there's a whole lot of things still coming at her, and everything's new for her, but she's still performing. And I think, the short answer or long answer to your short question is it's outstanding so far.
I remember I asked you that maybe a couple weeks ago, and you mentioned reading the game for her was something she needed to improve on. How have you seen that progress in Big 12?
Yeah, you know, she's already getting the best guard defender on her, and they're putting size on her, you name it. And I think that that's continuing to evolve for her. And I thought she made some good reads even against Oklahoma State. She has great speed. She has a great hesitation move. She's reading a little bit better coming off screens. We're going to continue to advance that part of her game. But the speed part makes her really hard to guard. The fact that she can shoot a step back makes her really hard to guard. So she's able to get open on her own and create her own shot, and that's really what makes her dangerous.
What are you expecting to see from TCU?
Well, I think you have two teams that are hungry for a Big 12 win. We're both sitting on one, and I think that, you know, it's a game. It's kind of a close rival battle for us here down the road, and a lot of recruiting battleground areas here with the two teams. But I think we're just looking at two teams that are hungry to get that next win, that are sitting with the same Big 12 record. And, you know, I think there's some bragging rights involved with some of the players and know our players and things like that. So I think, you know, we're looking for a very intense game and going to have to battle it out, grind it out type of mentality going into the game, and stay steady and true. But we do like our matchup.
What do you think is the biggest lesson that you've been able to learn about your team, about the way that you guys travel and the way that you play on the road?
Yeah, I think they've kind of gotten the hang of it. It was nice to get the win at Nevada early, I think, in non-conference and kind of feel and experience that. But I think routine-wise, pretty consistent, pretty stable with that. I think, you know, I think on the road is just understanding collectively how you have to sustain that level of toughness throughout the duration of the game. Like I said, we did it. We learned from it. We came back and we did it against Kansas at home. I think that final hurdle for us is to be able to do it on a road environment in the last 3 or 4 minutes of a game, or when things aren't going your way, early. Like Oklahoma State early on, we struggled to score, but so did they. And, you know, that's something where you just have to stay steady and true in those moments. And I think just continuing to grow and get better. And we're so close. We're so close. And that's the part we're going to continue to encourage. The encouragement with our team is that we are right there.
You had talked a little bit about it with Brittany earlier, just the body transformations that you've seen from her. And last week, Erin was talking about how that's one of the biggest changes that she's seen in her game, just how good a shape she feels in. And that's a credit to Coach Ralph. How important is it to be able to have both those players able to play 20, 22, 24 minutes a game, and just what you guys are trying to accomplish inside?
Yeah, it's crucial. You know, they have to be on the floor and be productive for us to have success. I don't think there's any secret about that, even with our opponents. We speak about it very freely with the team. But we have to have production from that position for us to have success, to take some of the pressure off our guards, and CC in particular. And they are some of the biggest post players in the entire conference, with the exception of Baylor and Texas. And so we are counting on them for production, both defensively and offensively for us. And when they play well, we usually do win the game.
Coach, talk about the player who is your unsung hero coming off the bench, and you're seeing development from the beginning of the season to now, and will be able to help the Lady Raiders in the future.
Are you asking me who that is? Mm-hmm. Well, I think coming off the bench, because we have had some different lineups. Some nights it's Erin DeGreat, you know, when we don't play her and Brittany at the same time. When we do decide to play her and Brittany together, you look at someone like Angel Hayden, who has been solid for us and has logged a lot of Big 12 minutes. You know, last year she has a lot of experience under her belt, so we definitely rely on that. You know, and then anytime Erica does come off the bench, she's been starting of late, but anytime Erica does come off the bench, I think she's provided a spark for us.
Just being able to play with toughness for 40-plus minutes, especially on the road. We lost 2 games on the road that shouldn't have been that way, but at the same time, we didn't play with toughness for 40-plus minutes. And that's what hurt us in those 2 crucial games. But that's something that we keep preaching and emphasizing, and we just need it to click for all players. And once that happens, I feel like we'll be in really good hands.
CC, have you seen a different in the style of play once you've gotten into Big 12, whether it be it faster, girls are bigger? Have you seen an adjustment, or do you think that how you have adjusted overall has been fairly good?
Well, of course, Big 12, they're way faster and way bigger. So that's when you have to really lock in and defend at a high level and focus on doing everything right.
Zuri, what are you guys expecting to see from TCU? Whoa!
I understand. I feel that. From TCU, we'll be seeing a lot of stuff. Their post player more. She's very active. She's moving. So we definitely need to be able to guard her. And they also have really great guards. Kiana Ray, Amy Okonkwo. She's shooting the three, but she can also do a lot of big moves inside. They have great players and experienced players as well. So when it comes to having a smart mentality, they definitely have that, because they know what they're doing. They've been playing at the highest level for a while now. And then that's something that we need to be able to match with them. We need to be smart. We need to play with toughness for 40-plus minutes, and we need to travel down the road. So, like I said, we're going to get that to click, and I know we'll be in good hands.
You had mentioned Amy Okonkwo there just a little bit. Can you just go into more detail about what she does that's so good? She's obviously really athletic. She can definitely score the ball, but it's kind of a good matchup for you.
Amy's very versatile. She's someone who can shoot the three very well. She rebounds, and she can do a lot of stuff inside. She can move the ball off the bounce. She's a defender. So she has great play offensively and defensively. So that's something that we need to really lock into at a high level, because they have great players all around. And Amy's one of them that we definitely need to make sure we keep on our radar whenever she's on the court.
So I guess for you, what's kind of been the change for you just rebounding-wise, and what's allowed you to be so successful at that?
Regardless of how my success has been in games and practices, the coaches are always on me, and it's something that I take pride in. So in practices, if I'm getting after it, I feel like whenever it comes to game day, I'm more successful with it. So, and it's not just I'm getting it from my coaches. My teammates also hold me accountable for that position as well, because they know that's a part of my role, and I want to be successful within my role. So I'm not just holding myself accountable, but I'm also getting the accountability from my teammates, which I need.
So I guess in terms of that role, I guess what makes a good rebounder?
Someone who just has a lot of heart and pride. I wish I could sit here and say that the rebounds just naturally come to me, but I'm in there diving with some of the best players in the country. Kalani Brown, multiple post players on different teams who can rebound really well. Oklahoma State has one who's actually top 5 in the Big 12 with rebounding. So every night I'm going against a really good rebounding team, and I feel like I just have to have the mindset of having a lot of heart and a lot of pride in doing what I do best.
How rewarding has this season been for you, especially with the struggles you've had with injuries and kind of all that through your career?
Adversity hits everyone. It's just how you decide how to handle it. Life isn't just what happens to you, it's how you choose to go about it. And obviously with my injuries, yeah, they did set me back, but it also made me stronger, and I growed within those injuries. And I feel like those injuries made me a stronger person with my mental mindset, but also physically. I know what I'm capable of doing, and I know what I'm not capable of doing, and I know how to push through my wall.
I know Coach Stallings has talked about shooting threes, but how excited were you to know that she obviously kind of trusted you and Brittany to kind of get those rebounds, and how important have you all been just to kind of this offense, just getting second chance points and getting them another chance to score threes?
That's very big for us. We like to be able to get second chance opportunities. With our team, we know whenever someone's going to shoot. I know when Cece's about to put up a shot. I can feel when Sydney is, Brittany at the three-point line. I know whenever that ball's going to go up, and I know where to position for the rebound. I mean, I've been Coach Nick and Coach Marlene tell me where to position, so that's where I naturally go. And just stats don't lie. Usually if you see one ball going one way, you need to rebound the weak side. And that's what I try to do, and that's what I tend to do. And it's just who wants to fight for it more when it's coming off the glass. And that's what I try to do for my teammates, get them second chance opportunities, and then putbacks as well. That's something that I want to take great pride in. I want to be able to get at least 3 putbacks a game and do whatever I can to help my team win.